Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Isshinryu Today. I'm Kyle Forrest, and I'm glad to be back. I've missed you guys so much. See what it says live. I missed you guys so much, and I just want to tell you it's a true honor and a blessing to be back here today. I'm lucky to be back. I want to thank my Heavenly Father for allowing me a chance to be back on the program. We're on the road, and I finally got to travel. I got Hoppy here with me. Say hello,
Hey guys,
Hoppy.
how you doing, guys?
Hey guys, remember Hoppy?
First of all, y'all.
We got some special guests this evening. We traveled to Knoxville, Tennessee to see my brother and my sister, which is Doug Hedrick, like me, Isshinryu Today, and Vicky Hedrick. Right, Hedrick, still Hedrick. Y'all married? No, I'm just kidding. We are in Knoxville, Tennessee, having a good time. And I'm telling you guys, it's great to be back. It's been a while since I've been back. I know I made some promises before I left, and I'm going to continue. Nicholas, if you're on here and you're watching this, please give me a moment. I will get to Tokomini Bow like you asked me to. It's just right now I'm trying to have to work myself into getting my cardio back up, getting my strength back up. So in case you guys didn't know, I was on life support for 9 days. I had influenza A, influenza B, and pneumonia in all my lungs, and I just couldn't breathe, and I had to go to the hospital. I'm out of the hospital now, as you can tell, and I'm not on oxygen. I was at first, so I'm on room or just regular oxygen, and I'm working out, and I'm up to like 1.5 miles a day on the exercise bike, and so I'm climbing back up that ladder, and hopefully I'll be able to get to go back to work soon. But with that being said, it's time to get out and about and really express our style and visit some people, which is why we're in Knoxville, seeing my family. These guys mean more to me than they know, because they've been there supporting me through this whole entire tough time of my life, and it's been a life changer for me. So I wanted to come back and tell you guys that I love you and I missed you, and I'm back. And well, enough of that. We're going to go on with the show and hope you have a good one today. On the Isshinryu Today podcast, we do have some traditions that we like to keep and carry on, and we're going to do that. We got to preserve and protect the lineage and the heritage in which we came from. And what I mean by that is we've got to give our shout outs. And our first shout out, and what we have saying on the show today, is we must remember where we come from in order to know where we're going. We got to use our past to platform us and propel us into the future of which we're going. That is our basis and our standards, and we want to protect and preserve that. So our first shout out now goes out to Tatsuo Shimabuku, our founder. Thank you, Tatsuo, for your sacrifice of teaching these young men and being a father figure to these young Marines and these young soldiermen that sacrificed their life to come fight for our country. And while they were there, you gave them an opportunity and the knowledge to carry on and succeed to get back to their families. So we want to give a shout out to you, Tatsuo, for your dream, and we hope that we're doing it justice by keeping it alive. The second shout out goes to our first generation students. You guys some of you paid the ultimate price and you never got to come home. But the ones that did pioneered Isshinryu back to the United States to carry out their founder's dream. And to do that at such an early age and remember the style. Number one, karate was not even here in the United States at that time. You pioneered karate to the United States, which was a big statement. Harold Long, Don Nagel, Steve Armstrong, Harold Mitchell, and the other first generation students. You've pioneered Isshinryu back to the United States in a time where it wasn't here. So being a young age, knowing how to teach a system, never run a school before, to come back and open up a dojo, that says a lot. I mean, I couldn't have done it. I don't think I could have done it. But you did it, and you promoted it, and you preserved it, and the second generation students brings in my next shout out. You were the guys that took that founding thing in the United States, and you are the ones that blasted it all over the United States. Now you started to spread it with the second generation students. You took it here, you took it there. There were more of you than the first generation. So you got to spread it, and you got to open up schools, and you got to spread it. It comes down to the third generation students. What are we doing with it? Now we have the internet. We have an opportunity to spread our style, our love, our passion for others. But more importantly, we have the opportunity to reach out and communicate. And communication is the key. And I wouldn't be honest if I didn't communicate to you that the Lord allowed me to come back. And I want to communicate that to you, that your family is important. The preservation of your family and the safety of your family. That's why we do this show, is to promote good Isshinryu karate for many generations to come. They can watch this show. Okay, so let's get started with the program. I'm excited. We were talking last night about the good, the better, and the best. And we want to display some of that in our movements for self-defense. So you have a good situation or a situation that went bad, but um, the good part about that is we're going to give you a good scenario that's going to help you out. Then we're going to give you a better scenario, and then we're going to give you what we consider may be the best scenario for that specific attack. Thank you, Matthew Blair. Good to see you, my brother from Okinawa. I hope you're staying strong, and good to see you. And I'm trying to stay strong, my friend, and getting on here and doing my job. But it's great to hear from you, too. I'm glad you're watching, and I hope you enjoy the show. So a little introduction, then I'll let them. I know we talked about Harold Long. That's the lineage line that I come from, and I want to preserve that, protect that, but more importantly, I want to promote that. That's kind of my obligation. These two right here, Doug and Vicky, were direct students under Harold Long, and I'm going to let them introduce and talk about some of the Harold Long so that I'm not talking all the time. And then we're going to get up and we're going to work on a few moves. So just a brief introduction. I'll let them introduce herself. We'll start right here with Miss Vicky first. She's prettier than Doug, so we'll just let her go. Okay.
The older sister, Vicky Hedrick, and currently 7th degree black belt. We were with Harold Long. I guess I was around 11 or 12, and like I said, Doug's 3 years younger than myself. And so we came up under Harold Long as kids. So this was way back when, I'm 56 now, so this was a long time ago. So we were there in the beginning with Harold Long.
Hi, I'm Doug Hedrick, the younger brother. I'm a 9th degree. I'm a 7th in jiu-jitsu. We came up under Harold Long as children, and we had the privilege that Harold kind of took us under his wing at times, and to get to know Master Long, the man and the legend.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Absolutely. I would also like to give a shout out to my other sensei, which is Master Spruill.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Dangerous man.
Very dangerous, man.
Very.
If you guys have never sit under tutelage of Grandmaster Spruill, get that opportunity. Anytime that you see him out and about somewhere, if he's teaching a seminar, make sure you go. You will not be disappointed. This man's unbelievable. So, I love Master Spruill. I mean, he's a genuinely good guy, soft-spoken guy, but a beast in that ring. I'm telling you what, he's something else. He's real.
Dangerous man.
Yeah. And then, of course, we got Hoppy. I want y'all to keep Hoppy in your prayers. He's going looking a little bad with his hip here. He's having a hard time with his hip. It's been bothering him. Grandmaster Ronnie Cimarosi. Everyone looks great. Hi, Doug and Vicky.
Mr. Cimarosi.
Hey,
Great to
Mr.
see you.
Hey.
Hello, respects all. Absolutely, Ronnie. Love you, brothers. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to get ready to go over a few things here in a little bit. Then we'll open up the question panel to see. Hey, Regina, how you doing? Hey, JoJo. And Ripley, my baby's on here. Ripley, yes, that's the one that gave me this big basket when I was in the hospital. She is my baby doll. And every time I see her, I love my sensei. And I love you too. And I'm glad you're getting to watch the show. Hopefully, we'll cover some things that will help you guys this evening. We'll let Doug start off first because we kind of bounced some ideas off each other. And he does a really good job of explaining the good, the better, and the best. And then we're going to go off. Hey, Becca, how are you doing?
Hey, Miss
Hey,
Becca.
Becca.
I tell you
Hey,
what,
Becca.
if you're not seeing anybody, Miss Becca, I'm available. Anyway,
I already had him.
she loves you too. Talking about Ripley, that's all. That's my baby. So if you could see her, and I'll send y'all some. I got some pictures. I'll show you in a little bit. She is a doll baby. She's got a little white gi on, and she can kick. She fights. I'm telling you, fights. And so, well, wolf whistle. She says, "Okay, all right, let's get started, guys. What we want to do is we want to go through some what we built this platform was the fundamental basics of Isshinryu self-defense. And we're going to give you an idea. You don't have to use it, but maybe you can learn from it and build off of what we're talking about this evening to help you in your understanding or maybe help you in your self-defense. But these are some real easy things that you can do. You don't have to have a lot of training. But if you do have a lot of training, you can build this into something very special because it is so basic and it's found in all our katas. So one thing I do want to talk about is, I don't know if you guys have seen, she's got the patch on right here, and this is the Hedrick's Dojo patch. And I don't know if you know the story, but I'm going to let Doug talk. I'm going to turn it over to him for a little bit, let him talk, and I'll run this switchboard here, and I'll probably interject some things too because I just can't help it. I get excited. But this patch means a lot, and it's written in Hebrew. Ain't that right? And
It's in Hebrew.
It's in Hebrew. So I'm going to let him talk about this patch a little bit.
Well, as you all know, well, maybe you don't know, I take a lot of chemo treatments, and thank the Lord, He blesses me through them, and I seem to do quite well with the chemo. Actually, I had chemo all week before today. And basically, the Lord came to me one day, and I saw Him, and my Lord Jesus was sitting on His knee, and He was working with a pottery. He's working with this. And He stopped and He looked at me, and He reached over, and there was a spear laying on the ground. And He picked up the spear, and He looked at me, and He pointed to the tip, and He said, "You all are this," the tip of the spear. So on our patch, this Hebrew means tip of the spear. It's really cool. And that's where this came from. Of course, this is Isshinryu. And that's always going to be where my heart is Isshinryu and Isshinjitsu as well. And so that's basically where the patch comes. That's the real quick and dirty.
Isn't that outstanding? That is outstanding. You know, we base our remembering the history of where we come from. Tatsuo had a dream. He had a vision.
Yeah.
He has a vision. I've got a vision. We all have our vision in our own little way that God communicates through us. So we want to let that be first and foremost. Miss Rebecca says, "Amen, brother." And we're ready to get started. So let's get started with the good, the better, and the best. So keep that in your mind as we go through this. So, Mr. Duck, the best. Yeah. I love it. We have fun. All right. Do you need me, or you're good to go?
However you want.
Let's move these chairs so they can see, so that they're not in the way. And well, I'm going to get up and do something, guys, because I've been waiting to get on here. So I'm not dead. I'm still alive. So we're going to go. This Master Doug Hedrick.
All righty. Brian, do you feel to this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I better getting up now. I was sitting down in that chair.
And this is okay right here. Can I see?
Yeah, can you guys see? Really good. Let me get out the picture. Now you're good to go. Can you hear him? That's the big thing. Type, Miss Rebecca, if you're there, can you say something, Doug?
Testing.
Testing. Can you hear him well? I guess you're good to go. Go ahead.
Okay. All righty. So, in a lot of situations, when something is getting ready to go down, we don't always know when it's going to go down, right? Sometimes we're startled, right? So, a lot of times we work on techniques, and it's always been my kind of fear that one of my students will always say, "Well, Sensei told me to do the technique like this." And in their effort to try to do the technique exactly as I told them to do it, they end up flubbing it or still getting hit. Everything good?
Yeah.
Okay. So I came up with this good, better, best kind of thing. So right out of our charts, Brian's going to take a swing at me. Good. This is good for so many reasons. A, I see a man coming at me. B, I see an attack. I avoided the attack. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
right? But what have I done to stop the attack? Why don't you come at me with two? Boom. Right? That's why it's just good. I only avoided the first attack.
Mm.
Okay. So then we go to a better scenario. Okay. He throws. Open arc sleeve.
Mm.
I return fire. Right? That's much better.
Much better.
Much better. Correct?
Yes, sir.
At least on his end.
Yeah.
But I've only tagged him, and as he throws again, and I hit, but he comes back again. Boom.
Mm.
That's why it's better than just moving, because I've already returned fire on him. Now it's a fight.
Right.
Right? Now, let me show you best. And what best is I nullify the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes a swing. Boom. And I drive him back to the hole he crawled out of.
Yeah.
Right?
That's better.
And
Yeah.
I destroy him here. That's best.
Right.
And how this is achieved is as he throws, right off our charts, step off line, use our side block. Instead of blocking, it becomes our driver
Mm.
with our stance right into the say-so stance. Now he's completely out of the situation. The fight's turned and I'm driving him back. Then I learn to attack. Okay. Best situation.
So a clear example. That's it. Get him, brother Doug. a clear example of good, better, best. So basing off of that, the good, better, best, basing off of that, it depends on the situation on to what level or force of continuum that you want to do with your defense. Off of the, let's go back to the good scenario where he steps back, okay, and he's out of danger. If Master Doug needed to get away from that situation, that is an option. So if he needs to, if it just needs to be controlled, that is an option as well. He's just giving you the setup for the delivery. The good scenario of that, let's just take good for a minute. So you throw the punch. He does the good scenario. Okay. Now let's include better and best off of that. So after he does the good, to control the situation even further to where Mr. Hopkins can't, now he can go back to good, better, best, even in different scenarios, just to control him, and he can exit if he needed to.
Correct.
So as you see in your basics defense, the good thing was identify and prepare. The better was prepare and determine. And the best was to execute. So the best thing he could do was all three of those: identify, prepare, determine, and execute, all the way through the whole thing. So it makes a great scenario. So you want to add anything to
Well,
that?
sure. I want to say that, like you said, when you added to the better and then the best going from the good, is that you could be startled right off the bat and you avoided the punch. First thing you did was avoid the punch. You didn't get hit. But then you're like, you go to your karate mind, what can I do next, the better move, and then finally, stop the situation completely, like Doug said earlier. But there is, from your karate toolbox, adapting to the situation, having that awareness and being able to adapt. And the very first thing is not getting hit. The
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah.
If you get hit, it's done. You could be a knockout. You could be knocked to the
Mhm.
floor. So the good was good. Step one, you didn't get hit. Step two, you come back with a technique. Step three, you finish it. Good, better, and best. So, yeah.
A actual altercation
Mhm.
is probably many of those occurring.
Yeah.
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 That's what I'm saying. I'm not telling a student, you must do the best every single time.
Right.
Because the situation may dictate
It may
the
change.
good.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, someone else comes in. Better.
Yeah. So a clear example of what he's talking about, and I'll take your place, Ron. So a clear example of this, maybe the situation has changed. So instead of the distance of me encroaching his distance and him keeping that distance by going to the good point, it may be in this situation. The situation may be now where the attack is here. So what would be good? What would be better? And what would be best? So in every situation that changes, you've got to change your flinch response. And one thing that we were talking about last night, guys, that was, I found really important, was that weight distribution. So if we were here, okay, and good was, remember we stepped back? So when I changed my stance, watch his weight change, even though he's such a much larger guy than me, of course. But the weight distribution, watch his shoulders, just the change of, this is good. You know what I'm saying? Then you get to better, and then you get to best. So now you start using that same scenario even in your in close grappling, things like that. Because if I just stopped with good and I changed my weight, good.
Yes. Yeah.
Now he's good.
Yeah.
And probably better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to understand that when you put this in your empty hand kata, understanding that, yes, this is good, better, best, as he said, driving, and then you restart that process, giving you an idea, something to build off of there. Now that's in close. But just that weight distribution of understanding, I'm a small guy, but I got to move quick, and I got to get all this off of me, because if we stay here, he's got, that's even too long already. I've got to switch quick. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So good, better, best.
I would also point out that being a woman, we're usually smaller,
Yeah,
and we will go through good, better, and best.
yeah,
It may be adjustment that didn't work, and you don't have too many times that doesn't work
right.
to gain control of the situation. But you may try something and go, I need something better or the best. I need to jump straight to the best in the situation.
Absolutely.
One last thing, or not last thing, but
Yeah.
one last point I was going to make. When we're doing demonstrations, and Master Forrest throws at me, boom, right? That's easy, because this hand's been stuck out there. He's leaving it out there. He's smiling. I got all the time in the world to do my technique because this is a demonstration.
Right.
But if he's going to throw at me, so boom, boom, throw two, chop out. It's going to be that, right? So in a true fight, as where he's throwing boom, 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 right? Boom. I'm doing better, 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 and then he's going to hit me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have to nullify both hands at one time.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying? Because I know if he throws this one fast, jab, there comes the other one. Boom, 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 right? So I have to do the best on this. Boom. See what I'm saying?
Good.
To eliminate the good striker. Because they're not just throwing one, they're throwing
Right.
a fast boom, boom.
Yeah.
You got to learn to deal with that boom, boom.
That's right.
And get offline and drive them and finish the fight.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Because that boom, boom. I mean, this is already committed.
It's already committed.
It's already committed. And when he commits to that best, he's not committing to where I'm at. He's committing to where he wants to go. So we've said it before. He can't do anything about my position in the fight. He can do everything about his position. His position can direct my position. So if we did this, boom, boom, I'm coming in, boom, boom, and he's driving me, boom, my position now, what do? I don't want to turn back into that.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? If I don't know good, better, best, I'm in trouble because he's got my back. And being a jiu-jitsu guy, I got a feeling that's where we're going. Okay? So let's talk about some of this real quick. Jesus Jim says, voices, Voice is breaking up and video is distorted. Just to let you know, this is great stuff for all to see and hear. Thank you, Ronnie, for the input. We'll see what we can do on the adjustments of the camera. We are outside, and sometimes when you do it outside, it does make a difference in the audio and the video because of the cloud cover and everything. Jesus Jimenez says, looking good, best of the best. Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
So one of the questions we talked about when we were, going over some things last night was, how does this work on the ground? Good, better, best. And in the scenario of, someone's just on top, just welling at you on the ground, how can that same movement in good, better, best work out in that scenario? So what do you think?
It's exact same concepts apply on the ground from top dominant to bottom. Exact same.
So I guess we'll show it. How you doing?
Okay.
I'm probably signing a death wish here.
We'll
do it. Sure. Because if we do it too fast, yeah, probably won't pick up. Let's adjust. I'm going to adjust you guys just a little bit. And what we're focusing on is, we're not trying to teach you jiu-jitsu or ground game. We're teaching you positioning, and it's going to be slow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Probably going to sit my back too. Okay. Vicki, can you kind of
I
check
am.
the camera there?
Yeah, looks good. Perfect.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm here,
Right.
this is what we're talking about.
This is worst.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is worst, okay?
He's pounding me right in the face, and I'm eating every one of it.
So he is good.
Right.
Boom.
Just try to get
It's,
away.
and it's
Right.
keeping me having to rock to
Right.
find out where I'm going to hit it.
It's me moving. It's good.
Okay? Better.
Better. He throws here. Right.
That's a lot better for him, not for me. But,
Right.
so let's do that slow.
As he throws, just like right off the charts, here, and kind of pull it here. Notice, I am not going like this. Jiu-jitsu rules. Anytime I have a dangling limb, it's to my detriment. He's going to attack. He's going to break. He's going to take it. He's going to armbar. He's going to do whatever. So the same rules that apply standing up to our charts apply down here.
This.
Okay? So this is better. Okay? And I can still return fire here. Right? It's not going to be very strong, but there's certain techniques from our charts that apply here. So think strike base of ribs. Over. Here. Okay? It's still just better. Right?
Comes best. Worst. Something.
So he's throwing here, right?
Yeah. Best. And I'm bad.
Right. We've got
Yeah.
one leg trapped. Guess where this other, I'm getting shot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Guess where this left knee's going?
Yeah.
Right up Main Street.
Yeah.
Okay? Best. Now I've got him, and I can even tap him out right here
Ooh, yeah.
with the wrist flex. He didn't
Yeah.
see it coming.
See it?
Golly dang.
And a lot of people will do that to try to get a good elbow.
Exactly.
But what he does is he rotates it forward.
Yeah.
And it locks on that wrist. So his
Rotate
my
forward,
my
and
wrist
pull
has
in.
got to hold all his weight.
Gosh.
And effortless. Especially with this knee in my lower extremities.
Exactly. Dangling parson. So anyway, good, better, best applies on the ground.
The same. It doesn't change. See, if you notice his movement was just the same as standing as on the ground.
Right. Same
Concept.
Same concept. Get him off balance, because remember in our karate code, his off balance is equal to weight.
Yeah.
Find where he's off balance, because you can feel where he's off balance, and then drive.
Okay.
Drive in that direction. Allow that weight to multiply for you
Absolutely.
and turn.
Absolutely. So we have something here. And if you ever work out with, and this is in honor of Master Spool, and Master Doe don't even know that I'm asking him to do this, but if you've ever seen Grandmaster Spool and his explosive techniques, we've got the machine here, and I would love, and I know you guys really want to see this too, I would love to see Doug cut loose on this machine with his Master Spool striking.
Okay.
If you don't.
Realize I had a hip replacement.
Yeah.
I've been doing all that, don't me.
But I'm telling you, when you talk about good, better, best, it cranks up to the same movements, the same philosophy goes behind into some of these punches, that if you feel up to it.
Absolutely.
But I want you guys, we wanted to touch on the good, better, best. And that deals with a lot of situations. That deals with a lot of situations, even in when you start getting into the jutsu part, which would be, the flex of the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder when you start getting into good, better, best. So, in other words, what we were talking about was last night, he did good, better, best. So if we were here and he took one for good.
Okay. Let me show you a quick and dirty way to get wrist flexes off. I
Yeah.
get it off sparring all the time, and they're like,
Yeah.
how do you get one off sparring? Okay. So he's throwing. Boom, keep that. Boom, boom, boom. You capture it, and as you capture it, pin it to your chest. As I'm still maintaining this, happens in sparring all the time.
Yeah. As you guys can tell.
That's pretty good. Do that again. Do it slow motion again.
Okay, so he's throwing, boom, and I'm not getting it off on all of them, right? Because we're all of a sudden, here's mine.
Perfect.
See how just here, if I just switch my stance while maintaining a block, because that one's still coming. I have the wrist flex right here. If I want to just make it worse,
Oh, gosh.
oh Lord, right? Then I kiss him on top of the forehead.
That's a wrist flex during Kumite, guys. You saw it live. Maybe
Yeah.
one more time so you can try it at home.
Okay, so
Let's do this hand so they can see.
So he's throwing, boom, he throws again, boom. Capture it, bring it to your chest as I'm stepping in. That's all you gotta do is hold it to your chest. It happens all the time. We're fighting. See how you just grabbed that? Pin it to your chest
Yeah.
and then step that way. See what I'm saying?
Ooh, yeah. Good stuff.
That's how it works. So as I got in here, I may not even do this.
Right.
Here I've got such an arm bar
Oh,
going.
gosh.
that I could just drop here. I mean, so much jujitsu that's in our sparring. You don't even realize it. Now, be extremely careful when you're
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what was the question? I'm sorry.
Good, better, best. So let's see what they have to say
Okay.
on some of this. Sorry. Go ahead, you can sit down. Grab your chair, Sean. Okay, so a lot of good knowledge being shared. Trapping his hand to your center gives you that leverage and body weight on that wrist. He's done. Good stuff. I'm all pumped. Ronnie Shinrosi.
All right,
Outstanding. Great,
Woo.
man. On the ground, everything is, so I got to scroll up some. There's a lot here. Okay. Everything is relative. What works standing will work on the ground. Good stuff. Absolutely. Love it. He is pinned to the ground and you still have the knee strikes. Same can be done standing. Great jobs, guys. And then Regina's show gave you the muscle. I think she saw mine flex, not yours.
Probably on that arm bar.
And,
He added you in.
So this is where we open it up to you guys. If you have something that you'd like to see or some comments or anything that you'd like to see this evening, we wanted to kind of keep it on that good, better, best thing. But if you like something or you have something that you're really concerned about as far as self-defense, send us a question real quick and we'll go over it while we have everybody here. Vicki, did you have anything you wanted to share extra or?
I would
Maybe.
just say again, as a woman, usually, we're smaller and maybe not as strong as our opponent or assailant. In any case, is that good, better, and best works too. And you've got that feeling that if you're in tight, also, I just want to emphasize some of your best techniques will be with your knee strikes and elbow. What's
good point.
devastating if you start to get pinned by somebody stronger, and trust me, I have fought my brother for years. Okay, so I know the elbow and the knee strikes.
Absolutely.
Something that will work tight and inside if somebody gets your hands on you. I also know that if I'm taken to the ground, that it becomes a lot more difficult for me to get back up with somebody that's a lot larger, a lot stronger than I am. So I'm going to go to my elbows and knee techniques when using good, better, and best ideas.
Outstanding. And, I don't know if I call her Sissy, but her name's Vicky. But if you've never gotten a ring with Sissy, she can throw down, son. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
If you ladies really, she's an icon for everyone to follow. And it's an honor to have you say that because, I'm a small person too. I'm not female. I'm small, but having a female this strong with this much character and fighting with a guy this big all her life, survival,
Survival.
she knows it. So what she's preaching to you is real. And I'm telling you, she'll put it on you right there in a minute with those knees and elbows. So if you guys, ladies, want to work out with her a little bit, anybody, we're live in Knoxville, Tennessee, or right at Knoxville, Tennessee. We're Maryville, Tennessee, close to Knoxville. And that's where their dojo's at. And I'm telling you, if you live in this area, around this area, even close to this area, or you want to visit, you need to get up with me. You need to get up with Doug. You need to get up with Sissy and come by and work out because it's going to be some of the best training. We'll go over anything as basic, as complicated as you want to get. Samuel Sadiq, he's from Washington, Seattle, Washington, or Tacoma, Washington.
Awesome.
Sensei Kyle Forrest, Becca Forrest, and crew. So Regina trains with me, but she is Kyokushin too. So we're Isshinryu and Kyokushin derived from a base style or idea. Oh, were they? JoJo and I have almost the exact same form for Saochin. Isshinryu and Kyokushin derived from the base style or idea. Okay, so what I know about the history of Kyokushin karate was the founder of that system was based in Gojinryu and Shorinryu style. However, his ideas of the hardness he developed on his own. So he left and went and started training on his own. So yes, they do derive back to the same starting point. Even though it went around a different path, they do share the same basic ideas as far as understanding the anatomy, I guess you would say, of the human body on what damage can be done. And the training is up to you. Some people like the body conditioning training and some people don't. So it really depends. But when you say that type of thing, yes, they do derive kind of from they do derive from the same area, region. Mentality may be a little different, but just going on what I know, but I'm sure there's others that probably know more than me. JoJo has been trying to get out there. Will you come on back? Good to see you, JoJo. She's awesome. She's a good fighter, and she's a good ground fighter too. JoJo. She'll be fighting for, and we want to sponsor her. She'll be fighting for Tap Out Cancer, and she's fighting in a Awesome. So she's a real good jiu-jitsu fighter, and there's a little tournament. It's a big tournament. It's going on in Charlotte, and JoJo is fighting in it for Tap Out Cancer. So she's raising funds for that. So yeah. So like karate on steroids. Yeah, pretty much. Ronnie Cimarosis, there's no win when it comes to a knife attack. The win is that you survive. But using good, better, best concept. What's a jiu-jitsu perspective when it comes to a knife attack? I'm always looking to learn when it comes to knife attacks. Master Butch Hill did a knife seminar about 30 years ago in Elton Dojo, and it was an eye-opener for him. It taught me what I didn't know, which was nothing compared to Master Hill. Well, she has a Kyosho tournament in Ohio this weekend as well. So Ronnie was asking, I guess, let's see, knife defense, good, better, best concept. What's the jiu-jitsu perspective when it comes to a knife attack?
Okay, a good jujitsu perspective concerning a knife attack is to bring a gun.
I'm with you on that one.
So technically, think of it as this way. Okay, there's only one martial art.
Yeah.
There's only one form of combat. Okinawan, Korean, jiu-jitsu, whether it be Japanese or Brazilian, the same concepts apply as we would do in our Isshinryu things. So, say a knife attack is occurring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Avoid the slash,
Yeah.
right? Better, avoid the slash. Try to control the arm or try to strike.
Right.
Right. Best, avoid the strike. Take the weapon
Right. Where's that?
and plant that weapon right back into that guy. So good, better, best applies in that scenario. So
So we have, this isn't real. It's not going to really cut me or Doug either way, but it will hurt.
so,
But good, better, best in the jiu-jitsu situation. So let's just take it from the Marine perspective that I got him down on the ground somehow to this effect. And let's say that I'm going to come from a side mount because I really don't feel comfortable coming straight in this way. But let's just say, yeah, it could be kicking. So let's say that this is on my boot here, little boot strap, and he don't know it. So he's going to treat it as a punch as if he would a knife. So it's the good, better, best. So as I come down and this comes out here, notice how even if it's a knife or a punch, he's pinning that to my body. So good.
and notice it's not out here.
Yeah.
It's still in my
It's
power
here,
zone.
and he's pinning it.
Right.
Okay. He's pinning it here. Now, I'm saying that's the setup. It's not going to stop there because the minute this leg goes, it allows me to come in to a different angle. But with this being pinned, notice he's not here. I'm going to try to fight around that.
Exactly.
And I can't. So now I'm going to get desperate and try to, do something
Right.
here. Stab, cut, whatever. I'm going to be wiggling, but he's pinning it.
Right.
So he's keeping it toward me. Does that make sense?
A lot easier to hold it against him and
Yeah.
use his body as leverage,
Yeah.
right? Than to try to fight with him,
Yeah.
because he's going to get away.
Yeah.
He's going to get away from here. Here, it's a lot harder to do it. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Right? Okay, so jiu-jitsu aspect here. Notice his attention is here.
Mhm.
So is mine, don't get me wrong. But his attention, since he has this weapon, is to try to focus here and not do anything else.
Right.
Because as he's screwing around with this,
This
he
is
could
my
probably,
confidence.
that's your confidence, right? He could probably pop me in an armbar somewhere else because my attention is here,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So what I've got to do is offer the attention here and attack. See what I'm saying? At this point, I can even see, okay, right? His attention is still here because it's a knife. You're still going to have tension here, right?
Oh, conquered.
Gentle.
Thank you.
Here, right? And at this point, I'm going to show him out. Yep. Just with it. Woo. Then I'll take his knife when he's asleep.
You can have it.
If
I'm
that
sorry you
makes
beat
sense.
me up for that thing.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's say standing. Okay? Because a lot of people forget jiu-jitsu is a standing
Mhm.
art too. how would you come at me, Kyle? I mean, what
Me?
would, yeah, because let's work with the real, right?
Yeah.
Let's work with the real. Because what I don't want you is like, Kyle can only come at me like this.
Yeah.
Right? BS probably.
Well, it's gonna be crazy.
Right.
You know, it's gonna be crazy.
Here, I hate this situation.
Yeah.
I want to get away. Good. Good. It's still not better because here comes that.
Mm-hmm.
So at a certain point, as he's coming in, it's like, here. Throwing.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu. So I hope that answers the question.
Did it help?
You all are very talented martial artists as well, and you would have your ways of manipulating that knife as well.
Yeah. Yeah. He says that was great. Thank you both.
You're welcome.
Thank him. He's the one that. Woo. Yeah, you guys. Thank you so much. We've any closing things that we want to talk about real quick? Oh, Vicky got him. You saw it. Vicky got
Trust
him.
no one.
Trust no one.
That's rule number one.
Vicky moved that chair. I would have grabbed it and hit Kyle.
Don't
Yeah,
matter.
that's good thinking. Any closing arguments? Hoppy, got anything to say?
And I wish I could do more, guys. My hips just give me such a fit. I can barely even sit through this show today. It's only an hour long. It's just to give me such a fit. And I hate it because, I really enjoyed the show. And I really enjoyed being able to be here with these talented individuals here and sharing this passion that we got. And it's hard to be sidelined when you got a lot of love for it. Because I want to be in here and I'm as small as I am. And I want to be able to get in here and mix it up and learn from Mr. Hedrick and Vicky.
But you're still learning.
Still
Yeah,
learning.
I'm still trying
learning.
to. But sometimes, like they say, you got to feel it sometimes to understand it.
Absolutely.
But I regret that I can't do a little bit more right now. But I'm trying.
If
I'll
I
come around.
may finish one thing, and I'm sorry, Hoppy.
No, go ahead.
Catch up.
Please go ahead.
When instructing, we always, throw a punch at, right? We do our technique. It's quite easy to do the technique when the guy's throwing the punch, leaving out there.
Exactly where you want it.
Exactly what we want it to be, right? Of course, use that to explain a concept. But when you're teaching it to your students, do that a few times explaining the concept. But then have them really throw as they naturally would throw.
Right. Yeah.
Because if it doesn't work against the natural, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Right.
There's better things to move on to then.
That's right.
So always bring it back, and that's why I'm forever grateful to Master Spool for the mat of truth.
Yeah.
Because he'd say, bring it to the mat of truth. And if I couldn't pull it off during the sparring, it didn't work.
Right.
And I'm saying that,
Makes sense.
generally.
Makes sense. So.
Well, that goes back to the good, better, and best. If they throw it, throw a technique right here, this right here, and you do that one technique, and then you're like, well, since they said do this every time, it's not that every time.
That's right.
And
yeah.
so you've got
Yeah.
all the scenarios, how somebody's going to do something. Well, I didn't expect that. That's the good, better, and best being applied again.
That's
When
right.
they're coming at you
That's
the
right.
real way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when the good, better, best really comes in.
Well, it's like driving a car, like that flinch response of someone swerves over in front of you real quickly.
Yeah.
You've got to
Right.
you got to make a
your move.
good
Yeah.
you got to make a good move.
Yeah.
But then you got to consider, well, I got children in the car or something else. I
Right.
may have to make a better move, or the best move would be this. And
Right.
that scenario changes with every different car merging in front of you. It may be a truck next time. It may be two cars merging. It may be one behind you cutting you off. It could be various different variables.
Yeah.
And even though the variables are changing, like what we talked about, our technique of understanding stays the same. So I like that concept that you're talking about. So you guys are awesome. Love you, and God bless, good health, and good Isshinryu. Thank you.
God bless you all.
God bless you
God
all
bless you
too.
all.
Did you want to show the best? I wanted to point out something. Y'all see our oh, sorry, Brian, didn't mean to poke him in the eye. That's a good move for somebody behind you. Poke him in the eye. Cobra Kai, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. You see it back there, and we had to hang that up. Doug's got that, and we love it. The best rooting thing, man, this beating machine right here. I wanted you guys to see that. But we'll get that another time. Doug just had hip surgery, so for him to be moving like he is, we're all beat up. And you know, the best one that beat us all up and did all this to us was Vicky. So
She's sitting just fine.
she ain't having no problems over here. So do I move the car or do I get out and recreate birth by pulling them out of the car door window? I like that. I like the way you think, because that is your sensei's way of thinking. I agree with that. So, girl power, go Vicky. Yeah, she bit us all up, Regina. She really did. And now I got to drive home sore from Tennessee. That's a long drive. But no, guys, really seriously, this is hard for me even today to get through. And I'm not trying to beg for your mercy or your sympathy or nothing like that. I'm grateful that I'm able to get back on this mat. God has truly blessed me over the last few weeks, and to him be the glory, because he's the one that allowed me to stick around for some reason. I don't know, maybe I got something to give to somebody, but I'm going to do my best. And these guys really helped me out and are my confidence boosters. And you guys too, Ronnie, you call me every week. I thank you, brother. I'm thank God for friends like you and a brotherhood. Never take family for granted, guys. Love each other. Thank you for the great podcast. We're so grateful for you, Sensei. Well, you're welcome, dear. I'm just doing what God requires of me. God bless you all. Have a good day. God bless you. We love you. We'll see you right back here, hopefully next week on Isshinryu Today. If you'd like to have us come to your dojo and you got some things you want to share, just hit us up. We'd love to come. But we will be right back here at Doug and Vicky's here soon, because I love this place. It's
We
beautiful.
love you.
And,
We love you guys.
thank you. God bless you guys. We'll see you.
God
Good
bless you
night.
guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. In stream.